Well, last night it touched down. Etihad Airways, the national carrier of the UAE, touched down in Kolkata as the airline made its much anticipated return to the Indian city. It's now going to be starting a total of 7 weekly non-stop flights, which will once again connect India's financial capital of Kolkata with Abu Dhabi. It was following the reintroduction of services that Kolkata now becomes Etihad Airways' 8th destination in India. And to speak more about this, we are joined via Zoom from Arik, the Chief Revenue Officer at Etihad Airways. Thank you very much for joining us on Talk 100.3.
Hey, thanks everyone. Thanks for having me. As you said, 8th destination. We have a long history with India. We go back 19 years. We've carried 20 million passengers to India, and Kolkata last night became just that eighth city that we're connecting to daily, as you said. So we're excited. I was on the flight, completely full. Great service on board, a lot of Bengali food, and I went back and came back. So I'm a little tired, but great to have a great crew and great group of guests on board. So great start to the flight.
You mentioned about Bengali food on flight, Arik. Does it mean there will be macher jhol, jhal muri and rasgulla too?
Actually, I wish you were there because we did have macher jhol on the flight. That was one of the options. So it was there, you missed out. We also had rasgulla and gulab jamun on the flights as well. So that was there for all our guests, both in the premium cabin as well as in economy class as well. So next time you're on board, look out for it. We'll serve you well.
This is incredible, isn't it? Now, 8th destination in India. Obviously, India is one of those popular destinations as far as travelers from the UAE are concerned, to and fro. Are there plans of extending beyond the 8th destination within some time to come, Arik?
Yeah, look, we're very excited about this. So this year, it's not only the 8th destination of Kolkata, right? We've expanded significantly in the last few months. We now fly 118 return flights to the Indian cities. We are looking at a few different things, few different options. India is something that's very much part of this airline's DNA, as in the UAE, as you can understand. Like I said, we have 20 million passengers. We have 800,000 people who are members of Etihad's loyalty program, and of course I have 1,404 colleagues who are Indians. So it's something that's very much part of Etihad, and so those extra cities will come. Not at liberty to reveal where they are, but I promise you will be one of the first ones to know.
I want to know what's taking you so long. Why has it taken so long for Kolkata to be number 8?
One of the things we're looking at is fleet. There's a global shortage of aircraft delivery right now. So as we take new aircraft, these destinations come online. And it's not only Kolkata, right? I mean, we've announced new services to Lisbon in Portugal, to Mykonos in Greece, Malaga in Spain, Dusseldorf, Copenhagen. And we have 3 or 4 other destinations up our sleeves. So as we get these aircraft coming in, they will be flying and to places that people here want to go to, both in Abu Dhabi and the rest of the UAE.
You mentioned the fact that so many planes have been down, and COVID-19 hit so many industries. Aviation was hit almost the worst of any industry. But now we're seeing a huge recruitment drive from Etihad and many other airways. How challenging has it been for you at Etihad to now try and get staff levels and recruit staff that are at an acceptable level and get it back up to normal? Because it's in a challenging time for you.
Yeah, no, look, I think we actually did a very good job. If you recall last summer, across the world, especially in parts of Europe and North America, there was lots of airline cancellations, delays, airports were a mess. We kind of anticipated the demand bounce back early in 2001, end of 2000, beginning of 2022. And so we started our hiring drive very well on. So we came out of last year with a 99.7% completion rate. So that means 99.7% of times our flights were not cancelled, and that's industry leading. So the search for talent is a continuous one, and it's obviously something that our HR team is very much on top of. But the good thing is that we are prepared. We knew that it was going to come back because travel is in all our DNAs. We're so accustomed to it. It's not a luxury anymore. We all want our vacation. So there was a small hiccup, but it's back, and the good thing is that we prepared for it. So we don't anticipate a lot of challenges on this front going forward.
In fact, talking about challenges, one of the biggest challenges, and when you do long distance flights, especially when you go to US, there is a lot of clearances that you need to get through once you land in US. You guys at Etihad have done, there's the pre-clearance facility at Abu Dhabi airport. How does that work, and what kind of services are lined up for travelers to the US then?
Yeah, great question. So it's a little known fact, actually, but we are the only pre-clearance facility for the US in the Middle East. There's a handful of them across the region and across the world, and we happen to be the only one in the Middle East. What it basically means is that when you walk into our facilities at Abu Dhabi airport, you do your immigration, your US immigration here in Abu Dhabi, right? So here in Abu Dhabi, you go through immigration, you go through customs. So when you land in the US, you just basically, you get off the plane, pick up your bags and go home. Or even better, for those people connecting to our partner airlines like JetBlue, you basically go on to the next flight as a domestic flight. So while if you fly other airlines, you will need 2 hours, 3 hours to connect in the US. For us, it's a short 45 minutes in those gateways because you roll off the plane, get your bag, and you're ready to go. And that pre-clearance facilities is for all our flights, to Chicago, to New York, to Washington. All the flights benefit from that pre-clearance facility here in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, coming off the plane from Australia and landing in LA and having to spend 2.5 hours at LAX is something I don't wish on anyone to have to go through that. So for many people that are going to those destinations, as you said, to be able to have that pre-clearance is fantastic. How did you come to that arrangement?
Look, it took a while. I mean, we were blessed with great government support from both sides. We wanted to set ourselves up differently in the region where we wanted to see how we could differentiate ourselves. So we work with stakeholders across the UAE, with the government here in Abu Dhabi, and with our American colleagues, saying what could we do better and how could we make life more simpler for our guests. So, you don't have to wait 2.5 hours when you land after a 16-hour flight in LA, right? And what's remarkable is people came together to deliver this proposition. And for that, we are very thankful to the airport and to the authorities on both sides. A lot of hard work behind the scene, but when you're driven by a purpose, magic happens. So.
And also, we've seen how flights have gone up. They've been horrendously expensive over the past couple of years as there's this demand pre-COVID to travel again. But you've got news, there are sales on some select routes from the UAE, which launched on the weekend.
Yeah, so that's a question I get a lot as someone who controls airline fares.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, book early. That's the one thing I will tell you over and over. Book early because the deals are out early and early. Demand's soaring. I think all of you going back to your loved ones last summer saw some very high prices. So that's just demand and supply. So one thing, we have our pre-summer sale going on right now. You can go to Kolkata and some select Indian cities for less than 1,000 dirhams round trip. You can go to Cairo for 1,195. You can go to Europe for 2,600 below, to Paris and some of the destinations. So if I wanted to tell one thing to your listeners right now, go and buy the ticket now. Don't wait.
And when are the sales to Australia? Help me out here. It's expensive at the moment.
They are a little bit expensive, but we're going to have some extra flights coming up to Australia, and that's going to bring the fare down. Those aircraft, we have 4 787s coming on. So you're going to see a better product and more frequencies on our Australian flights very soon.
Yeah, they're very good. I can say I've once flown Etihad Airways on the 787 to Australia as a guest, as staff travel. I won't tell you how I got that, but I did, and it was one of the most incredible flights I've ever had. So it's a great aircraft.
Kitchi, the idea is to get out as many secrets as possible, not from you, but from Arik while he's here. Right? Arik, you mentioned that you're someone who controls the price. Could you also break the myth to everyone who's listening to us that is there a cheat code to get the best rates when you're booking? Is it like book 3 months in advance, book on a Tuesday, book in the middle of the night? There are so many, talks that people have when they're trying to give you a tip when you're booking air tickets. Is there a rule? Is there a specific way to get the cheapest airfare ever?
This reminds me of every time when I listen to advice on how to lose weight, and everyone has a thousand different ways of doing so. And really, it's to eat healthy. The simple secret to buying a good deal is book early. Obviously, there will be deals like in any other industry where you have deals at certain time of the year. But in general, if you know you're going to go somewhere, book the ticket early because most likely with a 60% probability the fare is going to go up. this idea that fares are lower booking on Wednesday or Thursday or Monday, it's an urban legend.
Well,
I hate to break this to you. Urban legend.
You know, I knew you'd answer that question well, because I'm pretty sure you're asked it about 4 times every single day. So congratulations on the launch of Etihad Airways returning to East India. There will now be daily flights to Kolkata. As we said, there are some sales that are going on this weekend. And Arik, the Chief Revenue Officer at Etihad Airways, thank you very much for your time this afternoon on Talk 100.3.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, great to have you there. So, look, there's a fantastic option for many people that are looking to travel to Kolkata, but also for anyone that is in Kolkata that wants to use Abu Dhabi and Etihad's network to go anywhere else in the world. You know, it's a great opportunity as well to come the other way.
Indeed, it is. You know, I mean, you want to fly comfort, you want to fly great food. And like Arik mentioned, that if you're flying to Kolkata, the food is also very Kolkata driven. So, you know, I mean, if you are someone who loves and relishes local food, then well, so be it.
TSB, Talk Sport Business on Talk 100.